Hello students, today we are going to learn the topic data handling. Data means a collection of information in the form of numbers or facts. It can be things like runs scored by a cricketer, wickets taken by a bowler, or your marks in a test. Now, let's dive into the types of data. There are two main types of data: raw data and group data. Raw data is when some data is collected and presented randomly. In contrast, group data is when the same data is classified into groups. For example, consider raw data on the number of smartphones owned per family. This is a random data representation showcasing the variation of smartphones owned per family without any proper briefing. This is an example of quantitative raw data. Moving on, group data depicts the information in a grouped format, making it easier for users to understand the data. For instance, we can present data with groups, tally marks, and frequency. Understanding data also involves some important terms. Tally marks are symbols used to represent the occurrence of an observation in a table. Frequency refers to the number of times a particular observation occurs in the data. The class interval is the range of values in a group, while frequency distribution refers to the values of the variable and their corresponding frequencies. Let's look at an example. A selection test was given to a group of 20 students. The test was completed by them in the following times: in minutes 38, 40, 42, 41, 39, 27, 28, 26, 30, 42, 41, 43, 45, 46, 37, 37, 43, 44, 49, 36. Now, if we prepare a frequency distribution table with class intervals of 25 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45, and 45 to 50, the table will look like this. Class interval 25 to 30, tally marks 3, frequency 3. 30 to 35, tally marks 1, frequency 1. 35 to 40, tally marks 5, frequency 5. 40 to 45, tally marks 8, frequency 8. 45 to 50, tally marks 3, frequency 3. Next, we have pictographs. A pictograph represents data through appropriate pictures. Generally, the same type of symbols or pictures is used to represent data. Each picture and symbol represents a certain value, which is clearly mentioned in the graph. Then we have bar graphs, which display information using bars of uniform widths. Their heights are proportional to the respective values. For example, let's say we have data showing the total marks out of 500 obtained by 6 children of a particular class. We can represent this data on a bar graph. To choose an appropriate scale, we make equal divisions taking increments of 50. Thus, 1 unit will represent 50 marks. After plotting, this is how the graph will look. Now, let's talk about double bar graphs. A double bar graph shows two sets of data simultaneously. This is useful for comparing data. This is just a demonstration of how the graph will look. Next, let's discuss pie charts. Pie charts are another way to represent data. They are useful for displaying the relative proportions or percentages of different categories within a dataset. For instance, the pie chart below shows the time spent by a child in a day. The activities are sleep 8 hours, school 6 hours, play 3 hours, homework 3 hours, and others 3 hours. Now, how do we draw a pie chart? First, take the total value of all the items equal to 360 degrees. Next, convert each component of the data into degrees using the formula: degree of any component is equal to component value total value times 360 degrees. Then, Draw a circle with an appropriate radius, mark the angels at the center, and draw the sectors. For example, the number of students in a hostel speaking different languages is given below: Hindi 42, English 14, Marathi 9, Tamil 7. To present this data in a pie chart, we can calculate the central angle of each component. Now, let's look at a specific calculation. For Hindi, the central angle of the component is calculated as follows. Central angle is equal to 40 to 70 seconds times 360 degrees equals 210 degrees. For English, it would be 1470 seconds times 360 degrees equals 70 degrees. For Marathi, 970 seconds times 360 degrees equals 45 degrees, and for Tamil, 770 seconds times 360 degrees equals 35 degrees. Finally, let's talk about chance and probability. Chance refers to the possibility of an event happening or not happening. For example, you are older today than yesterday is certain to happen. On the other hand, tomorrow may or may not be a cloudy day. Lastly, it is impossible for a die to land on 8 when tossed. Probability, on the other hand, is the chance of an event happening. It tells us how likely an event is to occur, but it doesn't predict what will actually happen. For example, if a coin is tossed, the outcomes could be either heads or tails. A few terms related to probability include trials, random experiments, and events. A trial is an action that results in one or several outcomes. For example, in throwing two coins, the possible outcomes are HH, TT, HT, ETH. A random experiment is one in which the result cannot be predicted in advance. For example, drawing a ball from a bag containing 5 red and 4 white balls. An event associated with a random experiment is the collection of some outcomes of the experiment. For instance, when throwing a die, getting a prime number is an event consisting of outcomes 2, 3, and 5. Equally likely outcomes happen when each has the same chance of occurring. For example, throwing a die yields equally likely outcomes of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Probability is calculated as the number of favorable events divided by the number of total events. For example, if a die is thrown, what is the probability of getting a prime number? The possible outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The prime numbers are 2, 3, and 5, giving us 3 favorable outcomes. So, the probability of getting a prime number is 3/6, which simplifies to a half. Similarly, if we calculate the probability of getting a number greater than 4, the favorable outcomes are 5 and 6. Thus, the probability is 2/6, which simplifies to 1/3. In conclusion, we explored data handling, including types of data, their representation through various charts, and the concept of probability. Understanding these concepts can help us interpret and analyze data effectively in our everyday lives. We hope that you have understood the topic. You can now study chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev to ensure you score well in your school exams. And that's not all. You also get amazing courses for maths, science, English, Hindi, and much more for Class 8. Thank you.